For increasing numbers of people, bicycles are for commuting or exercise. For our guests, an affordable necessity has become a mechanical learning curve and even something larger. Over the past couple of years, the Bowdoin Bike School has become a place for learning about repair and helping young people grow. With its new location in Dorchester, it's also a hub for a growing community of cyclists. We'd like to welcome the school's founder and director, Noah Hicks, and a mechanic from the school, Adly, Francois. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
I want to start with each of you about how you started with bicycling. Noah, what about you? You grew up in Bowdoin, Geneva, so when did the bikes start?
I would say that I started cycling shortly after leaving the cradle. Just like a lot of kids in the neighborhood, we love our bikes, we love to ride, and I kept with it through most of my childhood. I always loved bikes. I love the freedom. I love the feeling that you're flying that you get from being on a bicycle.
And what about you, Adly?
I started riding my bike like 2 to 3 years ago, and I had a bike. It got messed up. It got it flat, and then I didn't know how to fix it, so I just left it in the basement. And then one day, I was going home from somewhere, and then I met Noah. He was helping teenager and adult fix the bike for free. So I went up to him and told him I know how to fix bike, if I could help him, and then if I could volunteer. He said yeah, and then we kept on volunteer for 2 years. And this year, I became the first teen employee to get a paid employee.
Noah, fill in the gap here, because how did you go from being the carefree kid on the bike to this man who's sort of a teacher of bike repair?
Like a lot of people, I kind of got lost for a while and I stopped riding my bike. I came back to it as an adult, mostly out of economic necessity, at a time where I really couldn't afford to get around any other way.
So how did you learn things about how to fix a bike?
Well, the fact that I was doing it as kind of a method of sustainability was what spurred me into actually teaching myself how to fix my own bike. Because the bike that I was riding at the time was one that, let's just say, required a lot of attention. And so through going to places like Broadway Bicycle School in Cambridge, by going to places that sold used parts like Bikes Not Bombs, asking my friendly neighborhood mechanics, either at Ashmont Cycles or at a couple of places in Jamaica Plain that I frequent, I was able to build my own skills. And also, there's a lot of trial and error involved. So I messed up in the beginning a lot more than I got it right, but that was what led me to, making a career out of this, selling bicycles on Craigslist, and eventually deciding that the best thing for me to do was to share my skills with the public. And that's where I met Adly.
Adly, tell me about what kind of things you do now, because if you put some mileage on a bike, things are going to break down. You got to deal with that.
I mean, at first I didn't know how to fix bike. When I told him, I clearly do. And he helped me. He teach me some stuff. Like, he would do the stuff in front of me, and he'll take it apart. He'll make me do it, because my opinion, I think that's the best way to learn. And then before I started working for the Bowdoin Bike School, I went to Bike Not Bomb for a couple of days, learned some new stuff, and now I'm not saying I could fix every problem in bike, but I'm pretty sure if my bike have a problem, I would take care of it on my own.
What's this been like for you? You're meeting all these different people. How does this change you think?
Great, because I was the kid who used to borrow people's bike, but now not only I have my own bike, I let people borrow my bike, and if the bike have a problem, I could fix it for them.
Now, explain how this works about kids who have a bike of their own.
Well, we're talking about two different things here.
Right.
We just recently opened Bowdoin Bike Shop, which is our brick and mortar bike shop that's employing young people from the community who've been volunteering with us at Bowdoin Bike School for several years now. So Bowdoin Bike School is a volunteer-run, pop-up bicycle shop. For some time, we were located at the Bowdoin Geneva hub, and right in our neighborhood, literally right around the corner from where both Adly and I live. And now we're doing Tuesday afternoon tutorials up at another park, up at the Cornerstone, at the corner of Washington and Bowdoin Streets on Tuesdays from 1 to 6. And so that's where we made a lot of the connections that we've made. It's very much informal. It's a drop-in space. A lot of the kids come with some serious safety-related issues. And so for the most part, Adly and I focus on teaching people how to fix their flats and repair their brakes. Because if your bike doesn't stop or go, you're not going to use it. And those are the bulk of our repairs. But Adly's still in training at our repair shop. He's still building skills. I'm still building skills. And like he mentioned, we've had a lot of organizational support. Our fiscal sponsor is MassBike, and they've provided a lot of the structure that we've needed to be effective. Bikes Not Bombs has volunteered and stepped up not only to train some of our employees on shop culture and some high-level mechanics things, but they've also been able to provide us with material support. So there are a lot of community organizations who are working together to make this happen.
How does that feel for you, Adly, getting some of that support as a mechanic now?
Awesome. Because not the fact that when, let's say, little kid come to me and I fix the bike for them and they learn from something. So, and then I think sooner or later, they will do the same thing too.
No, one of the other things that people, and not just young people, have to contend with riding bikes in Dorchester is safety. You got a fair amount of traffic there, and what about that? Do people learn things? You must be talking to each other. Watch out for this, watch out for that.
Yeah, absolutely. On one level, we're promoting awareness. When I first picked up the bike again as an adult, it was very, very lonely out there on the streets of Dorchester. I want to say that was 8 or 9 years ago, before much of the city cycling boom took off. So one thing that we're doing is getting more riders out there on the streets, and not only just sending them off into the wilds of Boston streets, but also coordinating group bicycle rides. So community members, free of charge, can come and, in the safety of a large group, feel what it's like to experience riding on the street. And we also model appropriate traffic management behaviors. So Adly and I, we signal, we call out our turns, we do all of the safety things that people may not actually have a good grasp on when they start riding, but just seeing a group of people, particularly a group of people from the neighborhood, riding and showing off some of these behaviors that you need to keep yourself safe. That's a huge part of what we do to keep people out on the road.
Adly, I think I was a little older than you when I made my first bike trip from one of the neighborhoods downtown. But to get here today, you drove down Mass Ave, went through Kenmore Square. That's dangerous territory.
And I didn't know, because like I used the Google app to bring me here, and then I went the shorter way. When you Google it, it's like 45 minutes, 50. So I click on the shorter one, and eventually it brought me here.
When I started riding as an adult, we didn't have Google Maps. So.
Right. Well, talk about the group. You just had a ride recently to Tinian Beach. How did that go?
Yesterday afternoon, despite the fact that it rained the entire time, nearly 70 people came out with us. And please take me seriously when I say at an average speed of 4 miles per hour, we rode and wound our way through North Dorchester's neighborhoods, picking up people along the way, and we made our way down to Tinian Beach. Thanks to a grant and the encouragement of Save the Harbor, Save the Bay, we were able to employ some ride leaders, some young people from Bikes Not Bombs, and also some young people from Bowdoin Bike School, who were able to, once again, demonstrate some of those safe riding skills and keep us safe out on the road. We had delicious food from Ballet and Savin Hill, and we just had a good time at the beach.
Adly, what about that? I don't know if you were there yesterday, but what's in a trip like that for you?
It was great, because there was a couple of us who had like a vest. Like some of us were in front, some of us in the back. Make sure that no one stay in the back and they were in front. If we turning, we stop traffic from the car from going, and then make sure if somebody have a flat, a couple of us stop to help them. So it was awesome.
What I see going on here too, Noah, and this isn't even just bikes anymore. I mean, I see problem solving. I see people working as a group to get something done that would not otherwise be possible? I mean, there's so much.
There are so many layers to it, whether it's customer service with people coming into the shop and wanting professional level, high quality service that all the people of Dorchester deserve, whether it's handling transactions. We work as a team, so we're balancing how to work together on complex projects, analyzing projects, stepping back when a bicycle comes in and saying, what's wrong with this? What tools do we need to make it better, and effectively laying everything out and setting the groundwork for us to do our jobs well.
Well, I know there's demand for what you do, so if people want to find out more, what's the best way to check you out?
They can check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Bowdoin Bike School. They can check us out on Twitter @Bowdoin Bikes, or they can stop by the shop Wednesday through Saturday from noon to 6 p.m. We are open Wednesday through Saturday, noon to 6 p.m.
Thank you both very much. Noah Hicks and Adly Francois.
Thank you.